Blue Lock 243 is now out as we continue from the last chapter, chapter 242, with The Magician and the Blue Rose Part 2. We have a new colored page showcasing Rin, and Sendo will also be on the Volume 27 cover. A new world led by Kaiser. A new life for Ness begins here. From the last chapter, Ness is on the ground and Kaiser asks him, "Do you believe in the impossible?" Ness says, "Huh?" Kaiser says, "Just now, you believe you can't win, right? That's a curse, you wimp." Ness says, "Huh?" Kaiser then says, "The moment you believe it's impossible, humans are designed to learn giving up. It's a survival instinct to prevent your heart from getting hurt. But that's the act of the weak. Killing yourself with the curse of impossibility. I hate those damn weak humans who just dilute their ego and survive." Sure, the enemy team is excellent, but I don't think it's a real strong man's play. Just an extension of a good student's play for evaluation. But you're different. That dribble just now, the timing of the pass, you were imagining a level above. You just didn't have a partner to execute it. Ness says, "Huh?" again. Kaiser then says, "With me, your wish is not impossible. Stand up. Let's do it." Kaiser reaches out his hand to Ness. Ness holds Kaiser's hand. Ness says, "Ah." Kaiser asks him, "Your answer?" Ness says yes. The game now resumes. Ness talks to himself saying, "I wanted to believe in this person. I would rather give my imagination, my magic, than end up like this." Ness has the ball and decides to pass to Kaiser, but he's marked by many players. Ness says, "This timing, here, there he is. I now have a much wider range of playing options." But Kaiser's shooting course is blocked quickly. He can't shoot like that. Kaiser still shoots for the goal anyway. Kaiser then talks out loud saying it's an air hole, meaning his course is too narrow. Ness then says, "What was that shot just now?" A kick with a terrifyingly fast swing. Kaiser says, "Let's go, you wimp. Next." Ness then says yes. The game continued and ended with a 3-2 win for Kaiser. Ness then says, "And we met by crushing the impossible." Some man comes up to Ness and Kaiser and says, "Kaiser and Ness, you two are hereby declared the successful candidates for this tryout." Their daily life in BM continues. In the cafeteria, Ness says, "Huh? You don't drink milk?" Kaiser says, "I hate it. I have a psychological aversion to white drinks." Then we see them again on the field. Coach says, "Hey, why are you late?" Kaiser says Ness is an oversleeper. Ness says, "Huh?" Even though he just woke up, his bed hair, meaning it was Kaiser. Then we see them in the shower. Kaiser says, "Hey, I can't see. Turn on the shower." Ness says, "Because you're making it all foamy." Then we see Ness cutting Kaiser's hair. Kaiser says, "Hey Ness, I was originally a weak-hearted person." Ness says, "Huh?" Kaiser says, "I've been living a life of losing to the impossible, so to never go back to that past, I got this blue rose tattoo as a reminder." Ness says, "I see." Kaiser says, in the language of flowers, it means impossible, non-existent. This artificially created blue color is an impossible existence in nature. I thought of this flower as making the impossible possible. It's a symbol of rebellion against God. I want to be an impossible being in the world. Ness then says, "That's nice." Ness thinks to himself, "I was happy to feel that Kaiser had opened up to me." Kaiser says, "I want to win the Champions League and the World Cup, and I want to plunge all the world soccer players into the depths of despair." Ness says, "Haha, that dream is so like you, Kaiser." Ness then finishes Kaiser's haircut. Ness asks Kaiser, he says, "How about this?" Kaiser says, "Whatever works. I just wanted to cut it because it's annoying. More importantly, is it dyed properly?" Ness says yes, it's a beautiful blue. Ness thinks to himself, and before I knew it, this person's dream became my dream and I still believe in magic. We then cut back to real time, back in Blue Lock's dorm. Ness finds Kaiser looking like he's choking, coughing up blood. Kaiser choked himself, the worried Ness thought. Kaiser says, "Hey Ness, I saw it. It hit me. I'm going to bring Yoichi to the brink of despair. A new weapon to turn around this hopeless situation." This despair of an ego would devour everything. To crush his nemesis Yoichi, the Emperor Kaiser, a signal to counterattack is underway. To be continued in the next chapter, PXG. What did you guys think about the leaks? It was good to see Kaiser and Ness's past, but it felt like we could have gotten more from Kaiser as he explains about getting the blue rose tattoo and what it means, but still some details were left out. Kaiser says he's been living a life of losing to the impossible, so to never go back to that past, he got that tattoo as a reminder. It makes you think, just what is the impossible to Kaiser? What is something so unattainable that he wants to grab it for himself? He also says he wants to be an impossible being in this world. How does he achieve that? Is it through football? Is it through real life? Just what can he mean? I'm not sure, but I think it has to do with Kaiser's past for why he's so stuck on the impossible. Maybe to him there are certain things he deems impossible, and as a child he couldn't reach them, but now he sees every challenge in front of him as the impossible to overcome it. He even admits that he was a weak-hearted person. Maybe he didn't have a good enough resolve to face challenges in front of him. The blue rose tattoo is a reminder for him to never give up if he wants to achieve his dreams. Kaiser loves taking the shots that no one thinks can go in. This is his motto with the signature swing, the Kaiser Impact. He has made his whole persona being the one who reveals what's possible. Kaiser explains that humans are designed to learn giving up, and that's the act of the weak. This must be how Kaiser was in the past. He would give up instead of trying to fight on. As for Ness, it's good to also see why he's so stuck up on Kaiser. We find out from Ness's life that it was really his parents this whole time who didn't believe in him and his magic, and all he wanted to do was prove it. We now have a partnership in a magician who wants to showcase things that aren't necessarily proven, and then an emperor who believes in the impossible. This duo was a match made in heaven, and now I think we see a big upgrade in the next match from these two. I originally had thought that maybe Ness was done for and it was over with, but with his backstory, you know they are definitely getting a bigger part in this next match so that Kaiser can get his revenge on Asagi. We need to see a lot more from Ness if he wants to keep up with the rest of them, as he got too emotional and was useless in the game against Ubers. I'm expecting a big bounce back, especially after Asagi and Hiyori's performance. People are going to be looking to see what Kaiser and Ness can do to bounce back. If I'm Kaiser, I would be excited anyway. You get to go to Real and play with Itoshi Sae, who is a way bigger upgrade than Ness. But right now, his focus is on Asagi and getting revenge for that embarrassment that happened last match. I'm not sure why Kaiser is choking himself in the training room by himself. This guy has officially gone mad. It makes absolutely no sense, and this might be a complete change for Kaiser. I'd always talked about Asagi's original ego coming out against PhD and Rin, but what if Kaiser's original ego also comes out? From this backstory, it seems like we got to see a glimpse of Kaiser's ego, but it still isn't fully unlocked due to his senseless belief in the impossible. If we learn more about his past in this game, we could see his reasonings as to why he believes so hard in the impossible and why he needs to prove himself more than ever by defeating Asagi. He said his goal is to win the Champions League and the World Cup, and he also wants to plunge all the world's soccer players into the depths of despair. There has to be a reason why Kaiser is so focused on taking down every player and making them despair. Well, currently he is the one who's in the depths of despair, as he is on the floor choking himself out. I don't see how choking himself out was able to allow him to figure out a new weapon. Oh well though, can't wait to see what that is for. Just what could Kaiser's new weapon even be? We haven't even seen much, but maybe Kaiser realizes how fast Asagi has improved, especially after Asagi was able to score from a pass from Hiyori without even looking at the ball. My guess would be Ness and maybe choking someone, I guess? Oh, nah, I'm kidding. But anyway, we got to see just what this new weapon can be. I'm not sure yet, but it could have something to do with more off-the-ball movement as well. Or just a new method that involves devouring his teammates so that he can win. We had seen what Rin could do, and maybe Kaiser becomes this weird over-fetish guy who's so obsessed with Asagi, he would do anything like stick his tongue out to win the game and bring out his natural instincts. Who knows though? Either way, it will be a fun sight to see as we continue on. I'm so excited now as we finally get to see more of PhD next week when their chapter comes out. Hopefully it goes into more detail on them as well. Well, I thank you guys for watching the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back in the next one. Peace.